change and learning. Hello, I'm Jonathan Calstry. I'm part of MaST's leadership, management and team building team, and I go into organisations and design and deliver training programs. So I suppose the context is lots of organisations want to bring about change, and one of the biggest frustrations in organisations is that the amount of change that they want is quite disappointing. What is it that we can do as managers, or the people who are perhaps tasked with making the change happen? What can we do to make that easier for people? Because if you think about it, most change usually involves wanting to get people to do something differently, which usually means they need to learn something new. So what we're looking at is how can we make learning easier for people? So it's some tools and techniques that real managers, in this case kind of change agents, could take on board and use when they're trying to get their teams, their departments to introduce something new. What we're doing is actually sharing some insights into how people learn that we're getting in recent times from neuroscience. So I guess what we're talking about here is brain-friendly learning. How can you get people to learn? How can we present learning in a way that's easier for people to take on board, that takes into account some of the principles of neuroscience that we know seem to be important. They concern things like how do you grab people and sustain people's attention. They're concerned with how do we memorize things. So one example, without going into too much detail, but one of the examples is you present somebody with some information that is purely in a written form. They will, if you like, encode it into their memory in a certain way, and there's a chance that they will remember a proportion of it. If you invite people to encode stuff into their memory using more than just one sense, if you invite them to encode it using emotion, then it is encoded in a more complex way. And the interesting thing about encoding things in a more complex way is that it actually helps people to retrieve that memory. The more complex the way in which we deliver the message actually makes it easier to remember. Well, I think what we're offering in the forum is an opportunity for people to, first of all, have a context. What is the change that they want to bring about in their organisations? What specifically is it that they want people to learn to do differently? So there's a context. I'll present some stuff around some techniques that they could use, and then I'm going to invite them to play with those techniques, to take their real change and learning challenge and think, how could I use some of this stuff that Jonathan's just served up, that we've just discussed? How can I use this in planning the way I present information, the way I get people to learn it?